Hello, Lake Grove. As we lean into our Reservoir devotional today, we are turning the chapter into a whole new segment, this one on the Spirit-empowered life. Now, for all of us, I think particularly in the Presbyterian tradition, people who love the life of the mind, who love ordered, educated learning, the Holy Spirit with all its perhaps chaos and mystery is indeed the least known member of the Trinity. I don't know if that's true for you or not, but I couldn't help but smile when I read this quote that Madeleine L'Engle cited in A Circle of Quiet by a Japanese gentleman. He said this: "Honorable Father, very good. Honorable Son, very good. Honorable Bird, I do not understand at all." Honorable bird. You know, the Holy Spirit, whom we often picture and image as a dove. It's also imaged and pictured as a wild goose in the Celtic tradition. That because it's a bird that was full of disruption and unexpected surprise, much like the Holy Spirit. The scriptures that the devotional guide leads us to for today are a reminder of who the Holy Spirit is in Jesus' life, and it highlights one of how Jesus' incarnation, that it comes from the Holy Spirit overwhelming Mary, and it is the beginning of the birth of Jesus. That's a chaotic disruption for sure, and a profoundly intimate one. And then they'll also refer to Jesus actually, after he has been resurrected, coming to the disciples and breathing the Holy Spirit into them. He had been promising them that he would send an advocate. He would not leave them alone when it was his time to leave them, that he would give the presence of one who would always be with them in teaching them what they needed to know. And that is what came through the breath. What a mystery. And I guess what I want to do in this devotional is invite you to welcome the mystery. This is a time where it actually may not help us to study systematic theology, but it might be better to lean into poets, into artwork, into the imagination of where we have seen new life bud, where we have seen startled and frustrated and confused life be able to take a deep breath again and move forward. How have you seen the Holy Spirit active in your life? If it's a hard question to answer, I completely understand that. So I want to ask you this. Have you had a moment where you just had to take a sharp intake of breath? Something was so astonishingly beautiful. What about a conversation that seemed upon its closure to be so, holy or sacred? It felt that there was someone blessing it. How about you thought for sure your life was done? You suffered a brokenness, a tragedy, a grief, or a loss that you thought would never have any redemption in it. But here you are today, taking another breath, thinking of the friend you may call today, thinking of the work you're going to put your hands to. How maybe was the Holy Spirit involved in each of those? As we, over these next couple of months, lean into the Holy Spirit and to looking at what it looks like to have a life that lives in the power of that Spirit, I invite you to just step into mystery. Let yourself be surprised. Maybe this is the perfect time to open up a journal and just put Spirit sightings. And at the end of the day, just let your mind flow over your day. Was there something of surprise, of newness, of freshness, of correction, Something needed to go a new way. A truth needed to be told. You didn't know how you'd have courage to say it or to hear it and receive it without incredible anger or defensiveness. Make a note of it. You will get to trace the movement of the Holy Spirit in your life. To close this little word to you today, I want to share just a brief portion of a prayer from, again, Ted Loder. I've shared this with you before. I'm going to show you the book cover because a few of you asked. It looks like this. I know it's backwards. Guerrillas of Grace, Prayers for the Battle by Ted Loder. And it's this I want to invite us to pray. Teach me your ways, Lord, that I may be open to the same Spirit who moved over the face of the waters in the first day of creation, and moves also over the chaos of this time to fashion a day like this, a world like ours, a life like mine, a kingdom like leaven and bread, like a treasure buried in the fields of the daily I plow, and make me aware of the miracles of life, of warm and cold, of starkness and order, of screaming wind and impenetrable silences, and of the unfathomable mystery of amazing grace in which I am kept. May it be. Blessing to you, Lake Grove.